Then Maya calmly asked again to speak with someone higher up. "I have a scheduled meeting with Rebecca Chambers, your regional director," she said, holding up an email on her phone. Eric glanced at it, his face tightening. That name clearly rang a bell, but instead of apologizing or correcting himself, he doubled down. "She's not available. You'll need to come back another time," he muttered, trying to move things along. But it was too late for that. A bank employee from the back, someone younger, maybe an intern, had seen enough. He quietly slipped away, phone in hand. Moments later, a woman in a navy blazer came rushing out of the elevator, Rebecca Chambers. She didn't need an introduction. The second she saw Maya, her expression shifted from confusion to alarm. "Maya, what's going on?" she asked, stepping between her and Eric. The room froze. All eyes were on them. You could feel the power shift happening in real time. And then Rebecca turned to Eric. Rebecca's eyes narrowed as she looked at Eric, then back at Maya, clearly piecing things together. "Can someone tell me why Maya Jackson, one of our highest value clients, is being questioned at the door like she doesn't belong here?" Her voice was calm, but there was weight behind every word. Eric opened his mouth, but nothing came out right away. He looked stunned, like he didn't realize how badly this was about to go for him. Before he could stammer a reply, Maya quietly said, "He told me to leave, said I didn't have an appointment, didn't even check my ID." That's when Rebecca turned sharply toward the staff behind the counters. "Did anyone verify her appointment?" A young teller raised her hand slightly, eyes wide. "Yes, I saw it this morning. It was on the schedule, conference room 3. But just as Rebecca looked like she was about to take control of the situation, another voice came from the hallway behind them. A suited man stepped out, holding a folder, with a cautious look on his face. "Rebecca," he said, "I think you need to see this." He handed her the folder, and her expression changed instantly. Inside was a printed email thread between Eric and another senior manager. The subject: "Watch list, unverified walk-ins." And Maya's name was on it. Bold, underlined. The room went completely silent. Maya saw it too. Her jaw tightened. This wasn't just a mistake. This was intentional. And suddenly, the issue wasn't just about one manager's bad judgment. It was about something much bigger happening behind the scenes. Rebecca stood frozen, her eyes scanning the email thread again, this time slower. The subject line burned into her thoughts. Asterisk watch list, unverified walk-ins asterisk. And there, under a short list of names, was Maya Jackson. No reason listed, no flag from security, just a name, and a clear decision to treat her differently. Maya didn't speak. She didn't have to. The look on her face said everything. Rebecca snapped out of it and turned to Eric, her voice sharper now. "Did you add her name to this list?" Eric's face went pale. We were told to keep an eye out for anyone unfamiliar." But Rebecca cut him off. "She's not unfamiliar. She's in the top 3 of our business accounts. You've met her before. We've sponsored her events. Don't even try that." The tension broke when Rebecca called over another employee and quietly asked them to escort Eric to her office. No dramatic scene, no yelling, just quiet consequences in motion. As Eric walked away, visibly shaken, the rest of the staff stood silent. Then came the twist. Rebecca turned to Maya, apologizing sincerely. "I'll launch a full internal investigation. This should have never happened." But Maya, still composed, replied, "I already started one." Everyone froze. Maya reached into her bag and pulled out a slim black folder. "I've been documenting similar issues across your branches. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, until today." Now the bank wasn't just facing a scandal, they were at the center of a much bigger reckoning. Rebecca looked at the folder in Maya's hands, realizing this wasn't just about one moment, it was about a pattern. She quietly took it, flipped through the first few pages, and her expression changed from concern to deep embarrassment. Names, dates, incidents, all tied to the same bank. Maya wasn't just reacting to being mistreated, she came prepared to hold the system accountable. In the weeks that followed, the story spread fast. News outlets picked it up. Social media lit up with hashtags calling out corporate bias and discrimination. The bank released a public apology and announced new inclusion policies, along with a leadership shakeup that removed Eric and others connected to the watch list. Maya, meanwhile, continued to grow her company and gained even more attention for standing her ground. It was supposed to be a regular afternoon for Maya Jackson, a successful Black CEO who spent years building her business from the ground up. Dressed sharp and confident, she walked into her local bank, the same one she's been with for over a decade, expecting nothing more than a quick meeting with her financial advisor. But what happened next left her shocked, humiliated, and angry. Before she could even make it to the front desk, the branch manager stopped her in her tracks, questioning her presence and refusing her service. No greetings, no ID checks, just assumptions. What the manager didn't know: Maya wasn't just any customer. She owned multiple accounts with the bank and had more than earned her place there. As the situation unfolded, other customers watched in disbelief. The tension was thick. Phones started recording. And when Maya calmly asked to speak with the regional director, well, that's when everything changed. This isn't just a story about one woman being mistreated. It's about how power, prejudice, and professionalism collided in a way no one expected. And when the truth finally came out, let's just say the manager never saw what was coming. But before we get into the moment that turned this situation upside down, let's rewind and see how it all led to that explosive ending. Maya had always believed in doing things the right way. She built her company from scratch, stayed loyal to her community, and even chose this specific bank because it was locally owned and had helped her get her first business loan. Over the years, her company grew, multiple employees, contracts with major brands, and her face featured in local business magazines. Everyone in the area knew her. That's why the moment she stepped into the bank that day, something felt off. The stares, the whispers, and then the branch manager stepping in front of her with a cold expression and arms crossed. He didn't ask how he could help. He didn't recognize her name, even though she'd met him twice before at local business events. Instead, he told her she was in the wrong place, that this part of the bank wasn't open to the public. Maya calmly explained who she was, mentioned her scheduled appointment, and even offered her ID. But he waved it off, saying the meeting must have been a mistake and asking her to leave. The other customers looked confused, some clearly uncomfortable. One woman even mouthed, "Is that Maya Jackson?" under her breath. Still, the manager stood his ground. Maya stayed calm, but inside, something told her this wasn't just a misunderstanding. It felt personal, and something wasn't adding up. Maya took a slow breath, trying to keep her composure. She wasn't new to uncomfortable situations, but this one hit different. She glanced around the bank lobby, noticing how people were starting to shift in their seats, watching the interaction unfold. Some pulled out their phones, sensing something wasn't right. Maya wasn't just fighting for herself at this point. She knew what it looked like and what it meant, especially for other Black professionals who get second-guessed in spaces they've rightfully earned. Meanwhile, back at her office just down the street, Maya's assistant Carla was already wondering what was taking so long. Maya was never late, especially for a meeting involving her company's next big investment. When calls went unanswered, Carla drove over to the bank. By the time she walked in, she could feel the tension before she even spotted Maya standing near the front desk, arms crossed, still calm, but visibly done with being disrespected. The manager, whose name tag read Eric, finally raised his voice, saying he was just following protocol. But Carla quickly noticed something strange. He didn't treat the last two walk-ins like that. In fact, she had seen him greet an older man moments earlier with a smile and walk him to the teller. Maya stayed silent, but inside, she was connecting the dots. This wasn't about protocol. This felt like something deeper, something that couldn't be explained away with a quick apology. Carla stepped closer to Maya, her voice low but firm. "You good?" she asked. Maya gave a small nod, but her eyes didn't leave Eric, the manager, who now looked a bit uneasy as more customers started whispering and watching closely. The atmosphere was heavy, too quiet for a place usually filled with the sounds of beeping ATMs and quiet chatter. You could feel it building, like something was about to snap.